Good evening, everyone. I hear we have a lot of celebrations this evening. All righty, we will get started. I do apologize for us starting a little late. We did have to close out some business. Under the provisions of the Public Meetings Law of the State of Missouri, the board must adopt by roll call vote an agenda that includes the time, date, place, and tentative agenda for the meeting. A copy of the notice and agenda for this meeting was posted on Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, at the Administration Center, 8855 Dunn Road, Hazelwood, Missouri. At the same time, copies of the notice and agenda were sent to major radio and television stations, to 3 newspapers, to all municipalities, schools in the district, and posted on the district website. May I get a recommendation to adopt the agenda as posted?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Let's go.
We will now start with Adrian. Or Dr. Bland.
Good evening. It is my honor this evening to recognize all of our Scholar Bowl competitors. I'd like for first Mr. Vortreed and Ms. Wilmering to come up. These 2 staff members have worked diligently to make sure that we had an extremely competitive Scholar Bowl competition for our students, and it definitely is a huge undertaking, yet extremely rewarding. So can we give Ms. Wilmering and Mr. Voltry a round of applause? And I don't want to leave out Dr. Ward, their principal, who also has been extremely supportive in the Scholar Bowl competition. The District Scholar Bowl is an elementary academic competition that was created and hosted by the Probe Gifted Program and their staff for the past 19 years. So we have students not only can compete athletically, but also can compete academically. Scholar Bowl judges are comprised of the Probe staff and other staff across the district that dedicate their time to judge and run all the competitions throughout the season. B. Wilmering and Michael Vortry are the current coordinators. So at this time, I am going to recognize all of the teams. So when I call you up, I'm going to ask that the principal and anyone from that school to please come forward, including the teachers that sponsor the Scholar Bowl teams and buildings. So we have 18 teams competed this season, 1 from each elementary school and a competitors team. Each school has a coach who organizes their teams and practices with them to be ready to compete. Many are here tonight and all have won trophies over the past 19 years. At this time, I'm going to ask Airport to come up. And do we have the principal here? And the coach is Miss John. Bermuda Elementary, come up, please. And if we have any students. And the coach is Miss Geyer. And we do have some competitors. Come on up. Awesome. Come on up. We have Central Elementary. Do we have Mr. Sheldon here? And the coach is Patrick Krangler. We have Combs Elementary with Miss Francois, and the coach, Miss Call. We have Cool Valley Elementary with the principal, Miss Sims, and coach, Miss Jackson. We have Griffith Elementary, Mr. Joyce Principal, and Mr. Jason Coach. Richardson, I'm sorry. Mr. Richardson is the coach. Halls Ferry Elementary with Mr. Ganal. Miss Tesson is the coach, and he has competitors. We have Holman Elementary with Miss Graves, and the coach is Miss Hendry. She also has competitors with her. Awesome. Lee Hamilton Elementary with Miss Sherwood, who is the coach. Walnut Grove Elementary. Miss Vague is the coach, Miss Andrade principal. Parker Road Elementary. And we'll share in the celebration. We have Dr. Ice and soon to be Dr. Crawford, principals, and Miss Brinkman, coach. I did kind of skip, didn't I? We have Wedgwood Elementary. Miss Goodwin is the coach. And Dr. Warren is principal. Uh-oh. I did skip that. All right. Can we give all of these competitors a round of applause? All right. Mhm. There we go. Oh, we did. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. We have more. And we will.
Adrian, could we ask the parents to stand up, please, so we could recognize them also?
Yes, would parents please stand? And so we will continue to recognize our Scholar Bowl competitors. On March 2nd, 5 schools earned trophies at the District Scholar Bowl competition. The sportsmanship trophy was awarded to the team from Johnson Wabash Elementaries. Please come on up. Principal, students, and parents. And the coach for Johnson Wabash was Miss Wiederman and Miss Cassidy. Taking fourth place was the team from Duchesne Elementary School. Coach Diana Woodruff. And our competitors were Elijah Beam. Is Elijah? Raise your hand if you're up there. All right. Okay. Sasha Cloper. Not here. Geneva Hackle. Luke Smith. And Darius Patrick. Congratulations. Parents. Can we have parents from Duchesne to stand, please? Parents. In third place is the team from Commons Lane Elementary. Please come up. Dr. Carol, principal, and Vicki Struberg, coach. And they have their medals on. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Aw.
That's our team mascot.
All right. We have Alana Howard. Step forward. Where's Alana? Okay. Haiti Muton. Okay. Heidi Muton. Thank you. Demaria Griffin. Isaiah Scott. All right. Step forward, Isaiah. Okay. All right. Hope Scott. Faith Scott. Roslyn Shin. Janiyah Goforth. And Jamal Goforth. And can we have parents from Commons Lane to please stand? Where are the parents? In second place, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were still taking pictures. Family, thank you. All right. In second place was Vote Elementary. Dr. Washington, principal, coaches Nicolette Andre and Lindsay Russell. And our competitors were Kyra Harris. Who's Kyra up there? Kyra? Kira, can you raise your hand so we can see who you are? Kira Harris. Enzia Jackson. Sean Williams. All right. Jayla Sharp. Josie Renaud. Oh, she's on. Rihanna Allen. And Zephania Lewis. Oh, Zephaniah Lewis. What is it? Did I say? Naya. Zephaniah Lewis. Would parents from Vote Elementary please stand? All right, so we're going to replicate Scholar Bowl. When they make the announcement of the winner, they do a drum roll. So everyone, drum roll. All right. And our district champion for the second consecutive year is the team from Robinwood Elementary. So I'm going to ask Dr. I and Dr. Ice to please come forward. Where's the coach? Oh, Natalie is here. All right. Jayla Kirkman. Okay. Liliana Childs. Jalen Sullivan. Tyler Griffin. Caleb Henderson. And Angel Taylor. Would parents from Robinwood please stand? Our individual champion is from Central Elementary, fifth grader Claire Robinette. Is Claire here tonight? Is Claire won in a final question tiebreaker against Jalen Sullivan from Robinwood. Where's Jalen? Can Jalen come up? Can we have the parents of Claire to please stand? There's my. All right. Scholar Bowl has been a constant staple for the last 19 years. It is an event that the children took pride in competing and looked forward to each year. As Donald from Wedgwood shared during an event in February, Scholar Bowl is an event that challenges you and lets you be smart and compete against other amazing smart kids from all of the schools. I love it. This was the last year that we will have all of these 17 schools and have Scholar Bowl in its current form. Next year, we plan to restructure it for our new 3 through 5 schools. Scholar Bowl organizers want to recognize the board's constant support over the years. And in Dr. Davis's words at one of the Scholar Bowl competitions, it is cool to be smart in Ferguson Florissant. Thank you to all. I apologize. I skipped item 3. So we're going to go backwards. Okay. I am going to ask at this time for 4th grade student at Combs Elementary, Haley Inman, to come forward. Okay. 4th grade student at Combs Elementary. You're fine. Haley Inman was chosen by KPLR 11 as their Weather Kid of the Week for the week of January 28th, 2019. She had the chance to talk with meteorologist John Fuller on camera about her interest in sports science. Congratulations, Haley. Thank you for representing the district and sharing your interest in the scientific field of meteorology. Congratulations.
All right, now we're going to recognize our district spelling bee champions.
Yeah. Good evening. The Ferguson-Florissant School District is pleased to honor the champions from our annual spelling bee. Champions, please come up when your name is called. Fourth grader from Holman Elementary, Sydney Lunn. Fifth grader from Duchesne Elementary, Geneva Hackle. Sixth grader from Parker Road Elementary, Javier Clark. Seventh grader from STEAM Academy, Claudia Panicki. Eighth grader from STEAM Academy, Jadzia Bernard. Our district runner-up is sixth grader Joy Jones from Halls Ferry Elementary. Our district champion is fifth grader Geneva Hackle from Duchesne Elementary. Would the parents of our champions please stand? Congratulations to all of you. Parents, you can join us for our photo.
All right, the recognitions continue as we recognize our district is now going to honor all of our building teachers of the years.
Good evening. Whoops. There we go. The strength of the Ferguson-Florissant School District is in our teachers who make a difference in the lives of students every day. Each of our schools selected a Building Teacher of the Year, And the board would like to recognize these outstanding educators. So teachers, please come forward when you hear your name. Jennifer Opelt, first grade teacher at Airport Elementary. Melissa Henderson, kindergarten teacher at Bermuda Elementary. Angela Chapman, math teacher at Berkeley Middle. I would also like to note that Angela will be returning next month to celebrate with us again because she is our district teacher of the year. Tamara Davis, sixth grade teacher at Central Elementary. Nisha Ellaby, English teacher at Cross Keys Middle School. Jennifer Baxter, sixth grade teacher at Commons Lane. Kathy Holloway, fifth grade teacher at Combs. Tiffany Blackman, instructional support leader at Cool Valley. Katie Vance, first grade teacher at Duchesne. Ellen Regina Mancheski, early childhood special education teacher. Alex Seuss, math teacher at Ferguson Middle. Jenna Smith, kindergarten teacher at Griffith Elementary. Julie Valmer, fourth grade teacher at Hallsbury. Fina Green, fifth grade teacher at Holman. We're going to need a bigger stage. Antonio Griffin, music teacher at JW, Johnson Wabash. Alejandro de Santiago, librarian at Lee Hamilton. Madeline Mitchell Perry, CTE teacher at McClure High. Kristen Calvert French, counselor at McClure North. Tiffany Buchanan, Instructional Support Leader at McClure South Berkeley. Bonnie Martin, Alternative Education Teacher at Mark Twain. Kathy Knutson, Kindergarten Teacher at Parker Road. Pamela Gerlach, 3rd grade teacher at Robinwood Elementary. Nancy Kwalachek, vocal music teacher at STEAM Academy. Bryce Klickner, PE teacher at Vogt Elementary. Melissa Lawrence, 3rd grade teacher at Wedgwood Elementary. And Wintra Storms, 2nd grade teacher at Walnut Grove Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Ferguson Florissant's 2019 Teachers of the Year. Congratulations to all of you.
All right, so as they corral everybody for a big picture, there is a silver Mustang with its lights on out there, license plate EB76 or C8F. So silver Mustang out there with the lights on. And there's also refreshments in the cafeteria off to the left here. My left. The mystery voice in the sky.
So we will take a 5-minute recess for anyone if they wanted to go get cake. And I believe it's cake and punch in the cafeteria. 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. We'll now continue with our agenda. Each month, the communications team presents a short video of district highlights and successes. We will now have our shared image of success.
Students, teachers, and staff all across the Ferguson-Florissant School District are experiencing success. Parents and students filled the gym for Donuts with Dads at Airport Elementary in the Ferguson-Florissant School District. Airport Elementary found a creative way to introduce mathematics to not only students, but to their families as well. Students were able to show off their math skills while being introduced to mathematical topics beyond their everyday schoolwork. Parents were able to see what their kids are learning in math while learning something new about mathematics themselves. Parents and teachers were also able to talk to each other about the school's math curricula and discover various math applications that they can use to help their child be successful. Vote Elementary students in Beth Wright's second grade class recently participated in a unique art and literacy lesson. After seeing a video on how Michelangelo painted the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel, the students were tasked with taping a piece of paper to the bottom of their desk and writing their spelling words while lying on their backs. Walnut Grove first graders recently ditched their classrooms for a trip to the Little Creek Nature Area to study animal science. The students learned about the lifestyles of the farm animals who are residents of the center and also had the chance to get up close and personal with them. Congratulations to senior Delaney Jones at McClure North High School. She has been selected for the 2019 Missouri Scholars 100, a statewide program that honors 100 of the Missouri's top academic students in the graduating class of 2019. You can learn more about these stories and other examples of the great learning happening in our district on our website and on social media.
This portion of the meeting is allocated to show a short video from the Missouri School Board Association to provide a report of current activities and events that may be of interest to board members and the community.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of April. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the work underway to create a statewide strategic plan for school safety. Last month, Governor Parson signed an executive order at Blair Oaks High School creating a Missouri School Safety Task Force charged with developing a statewide school safety plan by July 31st. That task force has already begun its work and is holding a series of public meetings throughout the state. Governor Parson said he is committed to providing the tools and guidance to help local education leaders make schools as safe as possible. He also said MSBA's Center for Education Safety will be an important resource for the task force.
Missouri Center of Education Safety is a national leader on school safety's best practices. The Center of Education Safety has many resources and planning tools available for districts and communities that has helped other states develop strategic plans to provide a framework for their school safety officers.
The task force will be led by Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe, who said the group will be seeking input from local education leaders and law enforcement.
We hope to provide the framework for any school district who wants it, public or private school, who wants to take advantage of this, to look at how they may take that framework and adapt it to their own environment, to their own district, to their own community, and the tools that they can use to make school safety a priority within their system.
Among the members of the task force is MSBA Executive Director Melissa Randall. She said the group plans to take a look at school safety from a comprehensive perspective.
We also need to look at all issues that impact a child's ability to learn when it comes to safety. If a child is being bullied, they're not going to be capable of learning to their full potential. If they don't feel safe on a school bus, it's going to impact their ability to function effectively in their classroom. And we need to look at, as the governor and others said today, we need to look at what we do to ensure a child's feeling of secure and safe, sense of security and safety from the time they get on our bus to the time we drop them off in the afternoon.
Other members of the task force include Paul Finnewald of MSBA Center for Education Safety, the Department of Public Safety Director Sandy Karsten, Department of Mental Health Director Mark Stringer, and Commissioner of Education Margie Van Dieven, along with a representative of school resource officers in the state. Finnewald will serve as the administrator of the task force. The arts can and do have a powerful impact on the education of students in our public schools. In fact, research shows student participation in the fine arts is related to positive educational outcomes in Missouri public schools, including attendance rates and test scores. To highlight that impact, the Missouri Alliance for Arts Education recently held its annual Fine Arts Education Day at the Capitol in Jefferson City. The event featured vocal and instrumental ensemble performances, dance groups, and theatrical presentations by students from school districts throughout the state. Caitlin Blue is a student from St. James who serves as Missouri's National Student Arts Advocate.
It provides a creative outlet for students in education systems when they may not have anything else to express themselves through, such as if a student isn't like athletic, they can't go and play on a football team, but they can surely sit down and paint something or join band and play an instrument or sing in the choir. It just provides a creative outlet for students who have nothing else to turn to.
Caitlin also believes there are practical benefits to arts education.
Being in arts improves a student's academic life and how it raises their SAT scores, and as well as building characteristics that future employers may be looking for whenever students enter the workforce, such as specific characteristics that they may gain.
Caitlin had a chance to visit Washington, D.C. recently and meet with members of Missouri's congressional delegation to discuss arts education. Students attending Fine Arts Day also had the opportunity to meet with their state legislators and talk about their arts education experiences. The Alliance for Arts Education believes the arts should be recognized as a core component of the academic curriculum and urges school districts to strengthen the quality and availability of fine arts education. Well, if you've just been elected to your local Board of Education for the first time, congratulations and welcome to school board service. One of the first things you'll want to do is complete the 16 hours of training required by state law and provided by MSBA. Half of the 16 hours can be completed online, with the other half provided at various locations in the state throughout the year. Visit the MSBA website for a complete schedule of training opportunities. There is no cost to participate in the required training. Also, mark your calendar for the annual MSBA Leadership Summit to be held June 7th through 9th in St. Charles. It's a great opportunity to participate in valuable leadership sessions and to connect with your colleagues from school districts throughout the state. Registration information for that event is posted on the MSBA website. Also, be sure your board is represented at the Spring Delegate Assembly to be held in conjunction with the Leadership Summit. Delegates will be electing state officers for the coming year at that meeting. The nominating committee is proposing a slate of officers for consideration. Video interviews with those candidates are posted on the MSBA website. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
This portion of the meeting is allocated for the board to provide an update of current activities and events in the district that may be of special interest to the board members and the community. If Scott has finished eating his cookies, we will start with him.
I kind of hurried that last one. Hi, everybody. Not much to say other than, boy, everybody stole the show tonight. This is some great things we're doing in the district and some great people. And what do you always say, Dr. Davis? There's those serving, who were teaching children, and those, what's your phrase? Go ahead. Huh? There you go. Thought I'd mess it up. Anyway, I'll just add congratulations to the negotiations team who put all that together on both the teacher side and administration side, and I was unable to make it. So I want to really thank Jessica Ponder for that, for covering for me. Also, I'm very happy that no teachers, we were able to find a position for every teacher during this redistricting process. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Dr. Thurman?
Hello, everyone. It is so exciting to see all of the students here when they came in to get their awards. This is what it's all about. This is the reason that we are here. And so it just made me smile. It hurt too, because my cheeks are, really excited about that. And thank you to all the teachers, because they would not be successful without the help and support of our teachers. So thank you, teachers and administrators and all of those who help students. One of the things, the part that I have on the strategic plan is decorum and behavior. And I just want to give a brief report on what's been going on in our school. On April 4th, the Ferguson-Florissant School District HELP team met with the St. Louis and Birmingham, Alabama School District to team share their continued work from Harvard. The first year work at Harvard centered around building strong relationships between staff and students. And I was a part of that first year team, learned so much there. The second year work at Harvard centered around building a strong culture of school decorum. The third year, the strategic problem of practice focused on promoting a positive learning environment for all students, particularly students of color. A positive learning environment would remove barriers to mastering core content, thinking critically, and communicating effectively, and learning how to learn. After much intense professional development over the last 3 years, the district is starting to see data move in the right direction to increase instruction time for our students. However, there is still much work to be done in the area of decorum. In the team sharing session on April the 4th, the district asked to focus on a dilemma or a challenge that we're having to implement in our district. And they chose to share how communicating the strategies broadly to respond to the problem of practice has been a challenge in the implementation phase of this process, especially around behavior and specific praise and pre-corrects are not being done with fidelity. We found that these two things weren't being done. Behavior-specific praise and pre-corrects are not being done with fidelity. After reviewing the data that was collected during formal walkthroughs, we discovered that low teacher implementation, why am I having a problem with that word, of these practices across the district at the secondary level needed more attention and oversight in order to be more successful. That's critical. The partner districts in the team share provided great feedback and strategies for us to implement during our work of implementation to meet our decorum goal. We look forward to the work of changing mindsets about our students' expectations and their behavior. This is one of the goals that Dr. Davis has as a goal, and he is working diligently to keep this at the forefront, because we know if we don't have good behavior in class, we can't have good learning, and we don't have environments where children feel safe in order for them to learn. So we are putting it out front. We want the community to know that this is really important, and we are continuing to look at decorum and what we're doing with decorum in our district. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna.
Mouthful.
Leslie?
Good evening, everyone. I have the talent management update, and the certified staff placement process has been completed. I think on Monday you had a half day to meet some of your new colleagues, and it seems like it's going to be a very successful year next year with the restructuring, and I want to thank everyone for what they're doing in that process. Also, the technology department was very active, and then we have a lot of, we're going to some different fairs, trying to recruit and get people if we need them, just to let them know who we are at Ferguson Florissant. On a personal note, I would like to thank the NEA for their support in my election or re-election. I would like to thank everyone that helped support me. I am thankful to be back on the board and to help to continue my service for this school district. And I also want to just tell you, if you need anything, you know I'm always here and I'm always willing to help. And I would like to thank the board for being my family. And thank you, Dr. Davis.
We will now have Jessica Pounder.
Thank you. Good evening. I have the accreditation and achievement update. During the April principals meeting, Dr. Kathleen Lane provided a deep dive into CI3T to prepare principals for launching their schools on a pathway for successful performance in academics, as well as growth in the area of social, emotional, and behavior. April 8th, principals were able to meet their new staff members at their new schools for the 1920 school year to start the relationship and the transition process. Lastly, state MAP grade level assessments and end of course exams begin this week and will run through mid-May. Please encourage your students to continue working hard in their classes each day, get a good night's rest, and give their all on their assessments throughout the coming month. Our students have made progress and growth, and we know they can be very successful. Lastly, I just wanted to congratulate Leslie for getting back on the board, and I wanted to thank Connie for her dedication to the board. She's been an excellent board member. She was actually the first board member that I ever met at the North County Labor Club Christmas party, so she was very welcoming to me, very friendly, and I will forever be very grateful to how welcoming and nice she has been to me during my time on the board. So you will greatly be missed, Connie. Thank you.
And now we have Ms. Connie Hodge.
Good evening, everyone. My distinguished plan is stakeholders and community engagement. And I want to thank, you have to excuse me, I want to thank Kevin Hampton because he's been my partner for these last 3 years and he has really helped me put this all together. I see a lot of positive things on Facebook that our students are doing. It was great to see Lee Hamilton, Principal Advisory Board's service, learning all the projects at the Veterans Home. Next Wednesday, our My Brother's Keeper mentoring group will be hosting Brothers and Bagels to recruit men who are interested in mentoring our students. I look forward to continue to serve the students of our district through my role of the Ferguson Youth Initiative and also on the Florissant Youth Advisory Board. As part of the St. Louis Zoo plan for our new North Campus property in Spanish Lake, the zoo would like to offer educational opportunities at and around the new property that are especially relevant and add value to surrounding community. What kind of St. Louis Zoo educational program would be relevant and valuable to surrounding community? Great question. The St. Louis Zoo is asking residents to join our discussion of this topic and help to shape the future of education at and around the zoo's new property in North St. Louis County. There is a focus group this Saturday from 10 to noon will be given right here at the STEAM Academy for parents and our caregivers of youth 0 to 6 years old. If you are interested in attending, please email Dwayne James at jamesdt@missouri.edu for more information. You also can reach him through Facebook as well. And there are additional focus groups and opportunity for people to provide their thoughts. So be sure to register for this. This is going to be a great event. I've enjoyed my time serving on the board. I want to thank the board, Dr. Davis, for all their support, and they've helped me the last 3 years. I've really learned a lot. I've enjoyed going into schools, specializing with the different programs. I'll miss talking with the students, the principals, the teachers, and the parents, and also helping parents that email me at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning for a problem, and I give it to Dr. Davis, and he gets on, and then I get with the parent to make sure it's been taken care of. It's also satisfying to know that I help get the District Governance Award every year. One of the things we get that Governance Award is we are accredited. Another thing is at least 3 board members go to Jeff City, and also at least 2 board members either have advanced and master certification. And I'm proud to this part of the establishment of the STEAM Academy. And also want to let you know that SFE, our food catering that we use, I'll miss their cooking. I gained about 10 pounds, so I'll miss that. But I want to let everybody, I thank you for your support. And also it's been satisfying to overcome the challenges we faced. And I appreciate the support from everyone in this district and what you've done and you mean to me. I really love you all and I miss you. Thank you.
Mr. Chabot.
All right, good evening, everyone. I have processes and infrastructures. Like every month, the big items on the plate are the restructuring, and since we're coming to the end of the school year, it's all about the move. So Terry has informed me that they are very prepared for the mass move that's coming up. Actually, he didn't say that. I just put those words in his mouth. Let me see, don't want to mess this up. So they put together a moving plan for the restructuring that's going to take place over the summer. And the administration's already shared that with the building principals. Boxes and tape have all been ordered. And they'll begin to be distributed throughout the district as well. And they'll have labels available to all the teachers to mark the boxes appropriately. So I know they've given this a lot of thought, and we'll cross our fingers and make sure and hope that it goes very smoothly. They've already done the walkthroughs for the different schools to make sure that they're going to be able to accommodate our students, and they're in the process of making any changes to those that are needed. They've had 3 meetings with vendors to finalize the specifications for the new entry door systems and the guest pass systems that will be put in place into our school buildings. Let me see. They're still working on the annex to move the server. When will that be done? Ameren, okay. All right, perfect. And nothing else is that important. So technology is doing great. They're still rocking it with the tickets, so keep them busy. We like that. And on my final note is about Miss Connie. I've really had a pleasure of serving with this woman for the last 3 years. You know, board members come and go, some leave a mark. And Connie was one that we didn't always agree on things. And there are times that we just want to we stare down each other. But we had so much respect and love for each other that, you know, we were able to put it past and really focus on what we do have in common, is that really trying to create a quality educational system within our school district. I have truly enjoyed and loved working with Connie. Now, I made a post on Facebook today, and it's not a goodbye. It's a see you later, because Connie is really involved in the community. She's on the Ferguson Youth Initiative, on the Florissant Advisory Board still, right? You're okay. I didn't think you left. But she's really, really involved. And it's something that's a true blessing with Connie. She's not somebody who just serves up here. She really puts her heart into it and gives it back into the community tenfold. So thank you, and I'll be seeing you around. All right? All right. Take care. All right. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you. It has been truly an honor as well as a blessing to serve as your 2018-2019 school year board president. As a student who started at Walnut Grove and graduated from Berkeley Senior High School, I would have never imagined that I would be sitting here. I learned at Berkeley that the sky is the limit, and as I stand here before you today, I truly believe that. This year was my moment, and I did exactly what my high school social studies teacher taught me. I seized the day. And even though I may no longer be in this position, I will continue to fight for equity for all of our students. I look forward to working with the Equity Committee, and I still have more work to do. So in closing, I just want to say thank you again for having me as your president. And we will now have the FFNEA representatives, Jean Stevens and Karen Doring.
Dr. Graves. Oop, is it on? Okay, I can't tell. You represent Berkeley High School. I represent McClure High School. Karen Doring, she represents McClure North High School. So we're all represented up here right at the moment. So Karen went to Robinwood, then Cross Keys, then McClure North, and then she got hired in the district at Robinwood, and now she's teaching probe at the elementary level. I started Bermuda, went to Ferguson Middle, graduated from McClure, and then I got hired at Ferguson Middle. And now I'm at Mark Twain, helping juniors and seniors graduate from high school. All right. So we have a few things to say. First things first, we would like to thank Mrs. Connie Harge for her dedication to the district and the community. Congratulations goes to Mrs. Leslie Hogshead on her reelection, and our newest board member, Dr. Sheila Powell Walker, who's in the audience. So thank you for all your hard work.
We are also very pleased to announce that last night, the association ratified our negotiations packet and calendar with a vote of 96%. So we just want to say thank you to both team members for their willingness to work towards win-win throughout that entire process. So thank you very much. On another note, right now during this restructuring process, one of the concerns that staff members still have is the movement. And I know you mentioned that before. So not all staff members have been notified yet of what this process is going to look like. So they have questions just about what items will be moved, what items will need to stay at their schools, what items staff members may need to transport themselves, and really just that general timeline of when these things will happen. So we look forward to some clarification on this process really soon. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will now have Dr. Davis.
All right, good evening, everyone. Throat's a little sore, so please forgive me for sounding a little hoarse here. So I first want to start by, acknowledging and recognizing Ms. Harge, who was an amazing person, period. And I've thoroughly enjoyed working for you. You are an amazing person and you love people, and that means so much. And so I just want to give you another round of applause. I think it means a lot when you can agree philosophically with each other. That's really important. I mean, we do a lot of work, all of us, but your belief system is your core, and you always go back to it, whether you like it or not, you do. And when you can acknowledge what you believe and you can stand on that, period, that's powerful. So I appreciate, our board members and standing strongly on what you believe in, because I fully and fundamentally believe in a quality education. That means more than anything, not just for the children who are getting it, but for the community who is helping produce it, because that's the best economic developer, is when we decide to educate all children well, whatever color they are, whatever their zip code is. It's not enough just to give kids diplomas. We've got to educate them well. And I know we aren't where we need to be, but we're not where we were. And we're heading in the right direction. And I just want to acknowledge that, these last 2 years have been tough for all of us. To go through the restructuring process, there's been a lot of community meetings and people meeting here and there and going in homes and libraries and all around, even before the break, some of the bigger concerns was where people will be. And we've taken care of that part. I know folks are worried about being moved. We've been thinking about it deeply. And I actually met with the building reps about a week and a half ago now. And so we're going to do everything we can to make sure we take care of all of you, because you educate our kids. And we want teachers to be prepared and supported so that those brains are smarter. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we want, is for our kids to be smart. But to get the association to ratify at 96%, I thought was pretty awesome, given what went in, and that's what came out. That's awesome, y'all, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, because a lot is going on in Ferg Floor, and not just folks who work and live in Ferguson, Florissant, but around this region and this country have been watching some of the things that's going on, and the restructuring process has been at the center of that. So I want to give our teachers another round of applause for that support. A couple more things. I want to congratulate Leslie for being reelected to the board. Looking forward to continuing to work with you. I'm sure I make her mad quite a bit, but we continue to go forward together. I'm looking forward to working with Dr. Sheila Powell Walker. I had an opportunity to spend some time with her already, and I'm looking forward to working for Dr. Powell Walker. Some of her beliefs lined up with mine, and I appreciate the work that she's done to support children and making sure that children's social and emotional needs are taken care of. That means something. So I'm looking forward to the road ahead. So quickly, testing's here. April 8th began the EOCs, and every week thereafter, and then around the 22nd, all the way through the middle of May, we'll be doing GLA testing. So keep our students focused, get in bed, get you a good night's sleep. My hope is that they've gotten everything they needed in content, so those brains are smarter. And so when they get on test, they'll knock the test out of the water when they master the content. But I want to keep pushing that in our community, that reading and literacy has to be at the center of that. and numeracy standing right beside it. We want our children to not only be able to read well and do math well, but speak well, listen well, and represent themselves well. So let's continue to focus there. The graduate profile and the uniform surveys are online. We're going to close those out in the next couple of days. So if you have not had an opportunity to go on fergfloor.org/surveys, please go on and complete those. We had a great event this past Saturday. The Ferguson Youth Initiative had their fundraiser, and we had a brunch at the Ferguson Community Center, and it was well attended. I had never heard of Miss Denise Times. And I mean, she dropped the mic. You hear me? I mean, I thought Nancy Wilson was in the room. And I love jazz. Like April is Jazz Month. Y'all know that, Jazz Appreciation Month. So for those jazz enthusiasts, you know that. But when she stood behind that microphone and belted out those notes, it was melodic. And so if you weren't there, you missed a treat. And I look forward to hearing her again. So that was pretty awesome. And I think the fundraiser, her being there and all the folks who supported it, and FYI, I'm looking forward to continuing that partnership. SFE did a great job. Connie called it out. They I love to eat, and it was awesome. Couple final things here. Our Summer Institute, we have every year. Some of those days we'll be at Washington University. We partner with them every year. But that's the week of June 3rd through 7th. And so we'll continue to do that work with our leaders. And we have our all administrators meetings that come up in the summer. And we'll do that again at the Federal Reserve Bank. They always allow us to come in. They do a short presentation, but they give us the rooms at no cost and also feed us both those days. And so we're excited about continuing that partnership. I'll be meeting with them soon because they are doing some work with some of the other Federal Reserve banks in Philadelphia, I think in Atlanta. And they want some teachers on those committees. And so I'm going to be meeting with Dr. Suter to continue that partnership. They purchased our AP economic books, textbooks, and they're super supportive of Ferg Floor. We've had students on their board, and we want to continue to keep our students involved in the community so that they see and get a real good handle on what democracy is, right? Because we think that's really important. Sorry. And that is my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. The board allocates this portion of the meeting to allow stakeholders the opportunity to comment on both agenda items and non-agenda items at the start of each board meeting. Prior to the public comment period, participants are asked to fill out a comment card with their name, address, phone number, email address, and topic to be addressed, and will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. Members of the audience who wish to speak to the board are requested to speak from the podium, identify themselves in keeping with district policies 4054, 4059, and personnel law, should refrain from making negative comments that are personally identifiable. While the board will not directly respond to speakers during the public comment period, the board president may make clarifying remarks at the end of the comment session to correct any misstatements of facts. Any more cards? That's it. All right, Judy Ferguson-Shaw. Board members' presentation, teacher retention, and STEAM school.
Good evening, everyone. So I've got several things here I wanted to talk about. One of the things I'm glad to hear that teachers are speaking up. I know that teachers at MSB have been going through a very rough time at this time, and I know that all of them have not been retained, but I know the statement was that they've all been retained. That's not true. My other question that I continue to ask when I come here is why the students at McClure South Berkeley High School cannot coexist with the students coming in from the STEAM school, as there is space in the building for all, and the curriculum certainly could be matched for all of the children. I want to thank Ms. Hard for her services. Of course, Grade A for Change supported her this time also. We're sorry that cumulative voting kind of took her out in a way that it wasn't expected to. And I also want to welcome back, I know she doesn't expect me to say so, but welcome our opponent back to the board and welcome Dr. Sheila, a force to be reckoned with. So thank you.
Secretary, can you please read disbursements?
This is for payroll, teacher and non-teacher, 11,381,965.68. For operational disbursements, 1,108,974.37, making a total of 12,490,940.05.
May I get a recommendation to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now have Dr. Lisa Hazel and future Dr. Cedric Gerald talk about McClure High School.
Good evening, Mr. Gerald. I'd also like to invite Jasmine Clark, our Upward Bound advisor at McClure, to the podium. Upward Bound, in partnership with Harris Stowe University, is sponsoring 10 juniors and seniors from McClure High School to attend the 2019 National STEM Conference in Hawaii, May 1st through the 3rd. The trip provides an opportunity for McClure students to experience a STEM conference and enhance the things they are learning through the district's curriculum around science and math standards. The trip is being funded through an Upward Bound grant awarded to McClure. During the trip, students will visit Pearl Harbor, tour the USS Missouri, USS Arizona battleships, as well as the Polynesian Cultural Center, which will expose students to the traditions and the culture of the island. For many of our students, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. More importantly, it allows our students a chance to network with young scholars interested in STEM, as well as deepen their knowledge of science, technology, engineering, and math, and explore STEM opportunities and possible future STEM careers. We're excited about this opportunity for our students. Mr. Gerald, didn't know if anybody had any questions. Okay. Yes, right. Thank you so much. We're excited to
So
uh,
hear.
I just want just say a word about,
Sure.
and I think that when we had the senior trip presented earlier, some of this was talked about, but Upward Bound is an amazing program. And I just want to acknowledge that last summer, the partnership with McClure and Harris Stowe, we were able to send many of our students, and Mr. Joel actually traveled with him to do a college tour. And, I just want to say that if I had had that opportunity when I was in high school, man, it would have been awesome. And then to get an opportunity now to go to the National STEM Conference, which happens to be in Hawaii this year, and then funding it and taking about 10 of our students, I think
10.
it is exciting. So thank you all for the work you're doing, for the partnership, for all the grant writing and all the things that had to go into making it happen.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that and acknowledge their hard work.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I really don't want to be the envy of the room, but I'm just so tickled, actually is the best word I can think about, for the students. And part of the research talks about the opportunities, but it also talks about expanding STEM to include more females. And this morning on my breakfast duty, I just want to share with you a brief email that I received today from one of my students, actually two young ladies, just in conversation this morning. One student wrote, "Upward Bound is not just a program, but it is way more. It is something that has given me opportunities, life lessons, maturity, and independence. This program has been the key for me to unlock the door to become my best me. I'm truly grateful for everything that Upward Bound has done for me and other students, because if it wasn't for them for believing in us, we would be wondering how to figure life out." And I just thought that that was very telling of the partnership that we have with Harris Stowe State University here in Missouri and the work that Ms. Lewis does every day. We certainly could not support, but it is doing a lot of the mentoring work and the heavy lifting. So I think Dr. Davis, she deserves a round of applause.
That's it? All righty, thank you. We will now have Gary Bills to do the first reading of the 2019-2020. Oh, I'm so sorry. Skip that one altogether. We will now have Tiffany Best, Construction Career Development Initiative.
We're going to play a short video first.
Hi, I'm Dan Lester with Clayco and the Construction Career Development Initiative. The purpose of today is to really show the students in this district all the vast possibilities for careers and opportunities in the construction industry.
I'm here because I'm interested in furthering my career in architecture, and this is the perfect place to get started.
I'm here to learn about architectural engineering and everything they have to show.
There's no greater time than now for these kids to enter the industry.
So we're just making sure we give them exposure so we can help them think about a future and give them different paths to get there.
So I'm in this to make sure that the community and the region grows along with our business.
I'm here to inspire the next generation to be interested in careers in STEM.
It was so amazing. I didn't know how many opportunities were available for engineers, especially for women.
Programs like we have today with our career panel and with our career fair help our students have access and gives them opportunity to talk to somebody from industry, because that can be life-changing.
Now that I know I basically have all the tools that I need besides the education, then coming out of high school and going into college, I'll be confident, ready to work.
We are looking for electricians, for carpenters and drywallers, for laborers, project managers and foremen, for architects, for engineers. We're looking for everything.
The people who have looked the person in the eye and said, I want to do this, mark my words, they're all taken care of now.
If you believe in you, the world will believe in you.
So I'm so very proud of the work that Dr. Kareem Muhammad has done with this. So I'm going to turn it over to him. He is also a graduate of Berkeley High School.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bess. So I want to say too that I'm also a graduate from the Upward Bound program, and that program was life-changing for me. I wouldn't have went to college if it wasn't for Upward Bound. So that's an excellent program. Keep up the good work. So on February 21st, 2019, the Ferguson Florissant School District, in conjunction with the Construction Career Development Institute, CCDI, held its first Art and Science Career Fair at McClure South Berkeley High School. The day was targeted at career and technical education students in engineering and the trade programs within our district. The Arts and Science Fair is part of the Ferguson Florissant School District's partnership with Clayco's Career Construction Development Institute. The goal of our partnership is to create more exposure in the design and construction industry for minority and unrepresented youth. For the career fair, we were very intentional in targeting students currently taking either a Project Lead the Way course or industrial tech class in each of our high schools. 200 of our students from all three high schools participated. We currently have 6 students from the Ferguson Florissant School District who are part of the CCDI program. Clayco is the pipeline for connecting to our other partners in this event. The event included Clayco, North County Tech, Tarleton Group, MCI, CSI, TW Constructors, ERB Equipment, BSCI Engineering, Bates Farm, Life Arts, Construction Farm, Boy Scouts Explorer Program, the St. Louis Carpenters, JTF, Local 562, IBEW Local 1, BUD, LaUna Local 110, St. Louis Community College Workforce Solutions, and Rankin Technical College. We would like to extend a sincere thank you to all our community and business partners, as well as our elected officials who attended this event.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Any discussion, questions, concerns, comments?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, now we will have Gary Bill's Student Expectation Code, first reading.
Good evening, board and my Ferguson Florissant family. The annual update to the Student Expectation Code work has been completed with only minor changes. Any additional changes are needed due to the MSBA mandates will be reflected in the second reading of the final version. And I would be remiss if I did not personally thank all of those individuals who participated on the Students Expectation Code committee. Too many to mention, but I just want to personally thank them for all the grueling work and robust conversations. So we are very happy of the work that we are doing, and we will continue this work. Any questions?
All right, this is the first reading. Any comments, questions?
I will make a comment. So this is the first reading. We're doing some revision work to the Student Expectation Code. And we will convene not only the committee of folks who've been working on it, but also some other thought partners, because this is, there are going to be some shifts as we begin next year. For example, one of them is looking at, so we have an elementary level code, and then we also have one for secondary. But now 6th grade will be transitioning over because we have pre-K 2 through 5 schools, which will be considered as elementary. And so we're doing some shifting of some of the code work. And also we want to make sure we're being a little more strategic around reporting. So I encourage anyone who, parent, teacher who's not on it, but would like to be a thought partner with us. We want to make sure that as we go through this next couple of weeks before the second reading, which could potentially be the meeting where it actually gets approved, because you have to do the first reading and then you can approve it at the second reading, unless there's significant changes where we need some more public input and comments. So if you haven't read through the code, I encourage you to do so. Also encourage you to reach out to Gary Beals because we're going to be convening our committee soon, and we plan to do some really good work in preparation for the 1920 school year.
Absolutely.
So Gary, I noticed that there are a lot of staff who participated.
Yes.
But do we have student voice?
Yes, there are students who have participated. In fact, we're looking to bring in some more students because there are some questions around dress code. So some students wanted to have some more input and conversations around dress code. And particularly, there have been some conversations around uniforms. So we certainly want to entertain that.
I know last year some of the girls were a little upset in regards to the dress code, to say that it's bias.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that we've addressed that or
Yes,
looked into that.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
And we will be looking into further issues around that as well.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We will now have Larry LaRue, Philip Boyd, Lori Salmerman, Jean Stevens. I believe that's everybody. The negotiations packet and the calendar. And this is for board approval.
Good evening. This year, the timing of negotiations was impacted by a legal challenge to House Bill 1413, which delayed the start of negotiations until last week. As such, and with the intent to be as consistent as possible with our new collective bargaining agreement, we tried to limit items to a reduced number. We did, however, edit several current policies in need of amendments and we discussed necessary ESSA and DESI compliance needs for the district. The 2019-2020 calendar and salary schedules, along with the negotiations packet, have been shared with you. They went to ratification yesterday, as was mentioned earlier. I don't know, Lori, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share.
No, got a little feedback from some of the folks, even folks who voted to ratify, and I'll share that with Dr. Davis at some point.
Yeah. So this packet has been presented to the board for approval this evening.
May I get a recommendation for approval of the proposed negotiations packet?
I so recommend.
You choose, Heike? Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Negotiation motion carries.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We will now have a short recess, 5 minutes, so we can do the reorganization of the board. On April 2nd, 2019, Ferguson Florissant School Board had an election. The unofficial results are Leslie Suzanne Hogshead, 5,667 votes, which was 43.28%. Connie Harge, who had 3,565 votes, which was 27.23%. And Dr. Sheila Paul Walker with 3,770 votes, with a percentage of 28.80%. And then there was a write-in of 91 votes, which was 0.70%. I now request that all business to come before the, okay. Is there any other business that needs to come before the final meeting of this existing board? So I declare the meeting of the 2018-2019 Board of Education be adjourned. Sinai Day.
I get to be chair for the moment. At this time, I will convene the new board. Would Ms. Leslie Hogshead and Dr. Sheila Powell Walker please join me at the podium? In front of the dais.
The dais. You can go up if you want to walk around.
I'll turn this way. How about that? You guys stand. That way you can face the audience if anybody wants to take some pictures. You want to be in front of the flag? Come down some. Congratulations, ladies. At this time, I'd like for you to repeat after me. I, and say your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Missouri, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of school director in and for the Ferguson Florissant School District to the best of my ability, according to law, so help me God. Congratulations. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Somebody want to bring it back. Oh God, I'm gonna need this. At this time, the nominations for board president are open. Are there nominations for board president?
I have a question for the board. Is there any wisdom or consideration in keeping our present officers because we're going through so much transition and all the restructuring? I just want to know if there's any question about there, any wisdom that we might do that. Can we have some discussion about it?
No, I wish for a restructuring.
Pardon me?
I wish for a restructuring of the board leadership.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
I wish for it to stay the same.
So do we have to vote on that, or what do we need to do?
Well, I think you still have to call for the board president and then still work its way down.
Even,
So I'm no expert when it comes to the Robert's Rules of Order, but the nominations are open for president. But if there's another recommendation on the floor, you could make a recommendation, I would assume.
well, that's my question. To- Okay.
To go through that process.
All right, I
Yeah,
just want
okay,
to,
okay,
then I'd like
okay.
to nominate Dr. Graves for president.
I wish to nominate Leslie Hogshead for president.
Are there any other nominations? Okay. So we will start with the first nomination was for Dr. Graves, and so we'll take a vote on that.
Do we have discussion?
You don't need a second.
Can we not
Allow for
have them
response.
tell why they why they should serve as president?
Dr. Graves, would you have words?
Just to kind of, in response to what Dr. Thurman was saying, I just really truly believe that we are going through so much transition on the board right now in regards to the reorganization. And I think that it's important to have that continuity of care when we are working with our youth. It's just so much that's going on right now that I believe that I can continue to do the work of the board in that leadership capacity.
Ms. Hogshead?
I wasn't prepared, but I will say that I have the experience of being on the board. I was for the redistricting of and restructuring of the board, and I think I have the capabilities to follow through and make sure that we go in the direction that we are headed.
Okay. So at this time, since Dr. Graves was nominated first, I'll do a vote for Dr. Graves. So all those in favor of Dr. Graves serving as president of the board for 1920, please show by show of hands. Is that the proper way, or? Yep. So by show of hands, if you vote for Dr. Graves as president. Okay, that 3 votes there. All right. For Ms. Leslie Hogshead, if you vote for Ms. Hogshead as president, please raise your hand. 4 votes. All right. Ms. Leslie Hogshead received 4 votes, and she is now our new president. Please welcome Ms. Hogshead to the seat.
Thank you.
At this time, I will yield the presidency to Ms. Hogshead.
At this time, I would like to, first, I didn't say this earlier when I was thanking everybody, and I'm going to take this opportunity. I'd like to thank my husband, Ken, who's out in the audience and has had many years of listening to me complain, cry, get excited, and work in the school district. He's helped in many ways, and I just want to thank Ken for his support of me remaining on the school board. Thank you, Ken. Do I have nominations for vice president?
I would like to nominate Dr. Thurman for vice president.
I'd like to nominate Jessica Ponder.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, could we please have a show of hands for Dr. Thurman? 1, 2, 3. Could we have a show of hands for Jessica Ponder, please? Did you put yours up? 4. So it's 4-3, and Jessica Ponder is the new vice president.
Exactly.
Thank you. Could I have a nomination for secretary, please?
I'd like to nominate Dr. Thurman.
We have Dr. Thurman. Is anybody else nominating? If none, could I please have a show of hands for Dr. Thurman? And she wins unanimously. Assistant secretary.
I'd like to nominate Dr. Walker.
All right, is there anyone else for assistant secretary? Hearing no other nominations at this time, could I have a show of hands for Dr. Sheila Powell Walker, please? And that's unanimous. And for treasurer,
I'd like to nominate Teresa George.
any other, any other nominations for treasurer? Seeing none, all in favor of Teresa George, please show hands. Okay, Teresa George. And for assistant secretary, assistant treasurer, I'm sorry, assistant treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Heike Janice.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, could we please have a show of hands? And Heike Janice is our assistant treasurer. So I would like to thank everyone for the nomination. I would also like to thank everyone for being part of the board, and we will have a wonderful, successful year with our restructuring and everything else we have to do. All right, where do I go? Oh, and we now need 2 delegates for MSBA and 1 alternate. So could I please have a nomination for delegate for MSBA?
I'd like to nominate Dr. Graves.
I decline.
Okay. Do I have any other nominations for MSBA delegate?
Dr. Thurman, do you want? No, he didn't.
No, thank you.
This used to be such a coveted one that people just loved.
So we need 2.
We still need 2 and an
I'll
alternate.
nominate Jessica Ponder.
Okay. And all in favor of Jessica? Opposed? Do we have another delegate, please?
Nominate Leslie Hogshead.
Sure. But Scott, don't you want to do it? Then Rob, will you be the alternate? We have to have an alternate, 2 and an alternate. Sheila can't.
Yeah, first years, if I remember correctly, first year can't do it as a delegate. Right? Like we went through this last year. So Jessica, right, okay.
So first, I guess I need to say all in favor of Leslie Hogshead for MSBA. Opposed? Somebody nominate Rob, I don't think.
I'll nominate Rob Chabot for delegate, alternate.
Okay. Anybody else? May I see a show of hands for Rob for alternate? Okay, so we have our delegates and our alternates and our officers. So please take a look at your 2019-2020 Board of Directors. Okay. Thank you, Rob. The board then sets regular meeting dates for for next year. Unless there is a change to be proposed, the board will adopt a motion that policy 4051 continue in effect. These are the dates for regular board meetings. And they are the second Wednesday of each month. Do I hear anything else? So I don't need a nomination. We will just, a motion. We will carry on with the second Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And please, board members, save the fourth Wednesday of every month as a work study session. And we plan to have some of those, as well as if we have other business that we have to perform that Dr. Davis comes up with. Okay. If there's no further business, could I have a motion for adjournment, please?
So moved. Second.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Have a nice evening.